Hello everyone, Anandi here. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Namaste. I'm here to continue on what I began in the video I put up a few weeks ago. To be fair, I just sort of dropped a massive amount of information that I have had for a number of years in a short, tiny clip of time. So I want to rewind and break it down into two different things to share with you. And today, specifically, I want to share with you and talk a little bit about Durga Ma as an avatar. So if you use your Oracle, otherwise known as Google, and you put in avatar, you get a really great definition that's pretty succinct and straightforward. It comes from a Sanskrit word, which means descent. And here we get, reading this to you, a manifestation of a deity or released soul in bodily form on earth, an incarnate divine teacher. So this is Durga Ma. Now I realize that some of you have had the great pleasure, like myself, to be with her physically, and some of you have not. And I also realize that you're watching a video of a person who you may have met or you may have not, who is just saying, "Oh, did you know Durga Ma is an avatar?" So I want to put a little bit of context to that. And really the only way that I can do that is based on my own experience. So I was driving this morning, and I was thinking about doing this video and what I wanted to share. So the second time that I went to meet Durga Ma and study with her was after my first initiation, my initiation into this sadhana, to surrender meditation. And I was sitting on the floor on some pillows, trying very hard to be a good student and listening very attentively. And she was sharing with me the path of yoga, and she began to describe to me the culmination of this sadhana and her experience of the end of the road, for lack of a better explanation, finishing, arriving at the other shore. And I'll be honest with you, I have no clue what she actually said. And I wish, part of me does wish that I could remember the words that she was saying. But something else happened, an experience, in the midst of her explaining to me the culmination of yoga. So here I am, and I'm seated on these pillows, and I'm listening. I'm trying very hard to pay attention. And all of a sudden, as she's speaking, I start to feel like I'm not really there. I mean, I was there. I was in the room. But this experiential sort of levitation, energetic phenomenon started to arise within me. And as I was listening, I was just seeing her transform before my eyes. And this light began to emanate from within. And the light continued. This golden, beautiful golden light began to just come up from underneath and emanate out. And it was all around I remember it being all around her head, and I can still hear sound. I can hear her speaking, and I have no clue what she's saying, and I'm being enveloped by this light that is just growing and emanating out from her until it became so bright that it's all that I could see. And within that light that enveloped her in the room, then I saw a doorway in the center of the light. And as that doorway, I placed my attention on it, and the doorway opened. And the doorway opened, and she stepped through. And when she stepped through the doorway, it was her, but it wasn't her. It was just a perfect, immortal, perfected being. And I remember at that moment just knowing that she was done. She was finished with yoga. She was in union. And I was pretty blown away. And then I sort of came back into consciousness, and I could hear the words again that she was saying. And I pretended that I had heard the whole story. And but something changed after that. It ignited in me this very deep curiosity to understand what it was I was dealing with, and who it was that I was dealing with, and simultaneously recognizing experientially that I had just been given a really profound gift, and that I had absolutely no clue what it was, really. And so that was really when I first began to suspect something about Durga Ma, something that was different. I had studied previously with several very powerful teachers. I had been on the spiritual path for a number of years. I had done a lot of practice, a lot of meditating, a lot of ceremony, a lot of contemplation, enlightenment intensives. I mean, I was going for it. So it wasn't like I had no exposure to this type of thing before, but there was something very, very different about her. So naturally, when it was confirmed, when it was confirmed for me that indeed she was an avatar, I was simultaneously thrilled, terrified, and also like, well, of course. And kind of a selfish, of course, because I've always so deeply desired to encounter an avatar. I read about them in Autobiography of a Yogi, of course, and in other places, and I was just mystified and so drawn and attracted to the idea that there's someone or someones out there in human form as divine incarnates, and what that might possibly be like. And I also had a lot of expectations of what that might be like. You know, I would have really expected that an avatar would maybe materialize in front of me, or, you know, levitate, perform some kinds of like really wild miracles and powers. And that was exciting, a really exciting idea. And it still is, you know, those things are fascinating. But knowing Durga Ma and studying with her and continuing with this sadhana, there becomes a really a different understanding and a profound effect of what that really means, that we have this connection with an avatar in physical form. at this time. There are different kinds of avatars, and my experience and my understanding of being with Durga Ma is her incarnation as a human is to be here and to complete this sadhana, which she has done, as a gift to humanity and as an act of love to mitigate our suffering. And it comes out as a bunch of words out of my mouth as I hear it, but the gravity of that is really tremendous, because based on the metaphysical fact that all is one, what one does affects everyone else. And her absolute, definitive, one-pointed focus for her entire life has been God. And the effect that I can't even begin to really comprehend. The magnitude of that across our planet is unfathomable. And that's in the external and the material world, but also that gift becomes very special for each of us because we are initiates. We have a direct link to this individual, to a God incarnate in physical form. I mean, wow! Like, I can't even really wrap my mind around how incredible that is. And her gift is not to show off and to levitate for us. It's not her interest. And if you know her and you read Mystical Tidbits and you read the tutorials and roundtable, that becomes pretty apparent. She's here to teach. She's here to show us the way and to be the way. And she's done an insurmountable amount of mitigation and suffering just by existing in human form as a human being doing this sadhana against all odds, with injuries and with life-threatening situations. Nothing has ever stopped her from this sadhana. Nothing. And as such, I know I keep saying that, but I'm just like, wow, really, really just blows my mind. But as such, it's a testament to what is possible in this world. And it doesn't mean that we're expected to live that same kind of life. Our desires are different. We each have our own set of desires and our samskaras and our karma to deal with. But she's an example, an exemplary of what is possible in the face of difficulty, that this is possible to do. And so each of us has our own path, but we have this link. And for whatever reason, you have attracted this presence into your life. Whether it was because, like myself, I secretly harbored away this little desire to meet an avatar. I mean, I think it's more than that, but that certainly stands out to me. But for whatever reason, you have attracted this into your life. And that's very significant. And I am curious. I want to know how that sits with you. I'm just really, really want to know. And I'm so curious how there are so many of us out there. We must have this desire for truth, for love, for union that has brought us into this community. And we have a responsibility to support each other and to share our experiences. And I really want to hear yours. And I'm sure everyone else does too. And I also know that you're really busy. But by sharing these experiences and these stories, I think that it would really serve to lift each other up and to give us the support and encouragement to continue in our own sadhana. Again, you don't have to move out into the woods, into a hut, and leave the world behind. You don't have to do that. And Durga Ma has said it again and again and again. She's not asking anyone to do that or telling anyone to do that. We have to start where we are with what we have. And so that's really all I wanted to share. I think I went in a big roundabout way, but I got really excited. And yeah, it's a joy. It's a joy to do this sadhana. It's a joy for me sitting here to make this video in hopes of connecting and reaching out with you all and inspiring you to reach out and introduce yourself and make yourself known. Shoot a video. It's easy. So that we can create a little bit more community around this amazing commonality we have, which is Durga Ma, and is an avatar available to us, not in a cave, not hiding out somewhere, inaccessible to us, but right here, available all the time. And so let's take advantage of that. And I'd love to hear how that resonates with you. And I'd love to talk some more about the avatar situation, should that make sense. So please post, comment, and there's a group over on Facebook that I would love for you to join. It's for initiates. And if you want to pop over there, you can just put in Durga Ma Initiates or search for me, Anandi Christina, and Christina with a K. And I would be happy to add you to the group and see you in there and see your happy faces. Yay! Especially as we're coming into a new year. It's a great time to recommit to ourselves and to one another. So thank you for listening. I know this has been a long video. Thank you for the indulgence. And I hope that it is inspiring or serving you in some way, even if only for entertainment. Okay, I will go. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. Wishing you all the best. Namaste.